Hey guys, Kristen with Expert Credit Sweeps. So we have talked about this stuff before, but I am making sure that you understand that it's not the end of the road when things come back as verified or they try to say that it's frivolous. Okay, so I'm going to give you a couple of things that you could do when that actually occurs. Okay, so you know that this whole shit is automated. You know that there's no real investigation. You know that there's not even a human, more than likely, that's doing this unless you're like Jay-Z or Beyonce or like the president if he had bad credit. Okay, so you have to realize those things before anything else. But if your dispute comes back as verified, there are a couple things that you can do, or even if it comes back as verified, then gets deleted and then gets reinserted. Okay, so I've highlighted a couple things, so let's just jump right to this. Okay, so and I will read to you what it says. So what makes things worse is that once an item has come back as verified, any additional disputes on the same item can be deemed as frivolous, even if they're perfectly true and valid. So even if you see on your credit report that there's 3 different numbers, there's 3 different dates, there's 3 different high balances, there's 3 different past dues, that there's the balance is higher than the high balance, so on and so forth, okay? So this is part of the FCRA, section 623, but I highlighted right after it. In other words, the only way repeat disputes can be flagged as frivolous is if the creditor actually fulfilled their duty the first time. And you know, once again, this is all freaking automated, okay? So if your round 2 dispute gets flagged as frivolous because it's a repeat of a previous dispute, which is either ignored or wrongfully verified, then the creditor or bureau may be in violation of the FCRA. Okay, so there's a couple things that you can do, and in my course, I give you 60 different tactics, but we're only talking about this one thing here, and I'll give you a couple of them. Okay, so obviously, and this is what this says right here, with a large furniture in particular, such as like Capital One, Discover, whatever, the likelihood of a real investigation is slim, right? So, you know, everything's automated and it's all bullshit. So what do you do? Okay, so evidence seems to indicate that the creditor may not even need to say so. Sometimes items come back as verified, but there's no evidence that the dispute ever went to the creditor. So one fairly common scenario is that an item comes back as verified when the creditor has no record of the account. So how could that even possibly be? So somebody tested this whole process by sending in a dispute for 2 items that had been reinserted, meaning it was deleted and then put back on, and adding in a 3rd new item that had not actually been reinserted, but they said that it was, right? I'm not going to say whether that's, you should or should not do that, and all 3 items were promptly deleted, right? Because Section 611 states that if something is disputed and deleted and reinserted, put back onto your credit report, that they actually have to notify you of this reinsertion within 5 days, okay? Okay, so if this happens, there's a couple things that you can do, meaning when it comes back as verified. Number 1, method of verification. How the fuck did you verify this? Okay. Number 2, repeat offense method, and there's a video on that. Number 3, no record, no reporting. There might be a video on that. I'm not sure. I may have done a video on that. Of course, there's complaints with the BBB, the AG, the CFPB, so on and so forth. The date updated method, and there's a recent video on that one. And then, of course, the AG, like I just mentioned, and any other appropriate secondary dispute tactics, okay? So there's also regular disputing. So you have a lot at your disposal. There's, you know, knowledge is power, right? And that's what I am trying to do to help you to get this shit off your credit report, okay? So, and I'm sure you guys have noticed, this is not my office. This is seeming to be my new office, but this is not my office. We are doing a conference here at Turning Stone Hotel and Casino, and while we're here, it's always good to win a little bit of pocket change. Anywho, so as you know, my soft launch is now live, and as of tomorrow, the 31st, it's going to be 100% complete for Section 1. And I just added a bunch of really awesome shit in there today, so this is the curriculum. But I have my release notes on here. I even have a freaking podcast because I get shit that's just off the top of my head and it needs to be recorded, and I give it to you guys. So if you have a business and you want to know how to do this the correct way to get a super ton freaking hell of deletions in the nicest amount of time, meaning the least amount of time that are permanent, then check out expertcreditsweeps.com/launch and you can access the soft launch. So there's a ton of crap on here, and there's also previews for section 2 and section 3. Okay, so anywho, if you guys need help and you don't want to start a business and you don't want to do this yourself, you can always schedule an appointment with me at expertcreditsweeps.com. Just click on book online. As for me, I have clients to process and a bunch of more money to go win at blackjack. So I will see you guys later, and I hope you guys have a wonderful evening from Expert Credit Sweeps.